Today, it's our pleasure to have Tony Fightmaster on, who's solid gold and he keeps growing. And Tony, one of the things that as I was watching your volume last night, as we were in the month, this is for our Monday morning tip. You watch CPs. You watch to see how many people are joining you on CP. Why is that so valuable?
Well, I know that the CP is the foundation for my business every month. On the first of the month, my CP last month is my foundation for the next month. And so I've been watching the CPs ever since we re-engaged in January, Al, and so we've increased every month since January on CP. So I know the foundation is growing, even though the daily volume may fluctuate.
Okay. Now, last year at Leadership Development Workshop, this year it's going to be in San Antonio. But bottom line, you made a life-altering decision, and tell us a little bit how you feel about making that decision now.
It certainly was a decision of a lifetime, so to speak. I mean, I decided to walk away from a full-time position here at the university. I've worked here for nearly 30 years, and I just felt like looking at the next 20, 30 years of my life, I wanted to spread my wings and follow every passion that I have. And so I decided to retire early, and along with serving in some other areas like music ministry and also helping the university as I choose to, I wanted to give a full-time effort to Univera.
You know, you are one of the most persistent, consistent men I've ever known in my life. You're a man of faith, but you're a good person. And the thing that I know is that right now you're on a push over these next 2 months to hit the platinum level, and you're actually poised very well because I believe, as we've talked, you brought in 3 or 4 of your key people that you've wanted to work with your whole life.
Right, I have, yeah. It's amazing. I mean, Greg Yates is one of my best buddies from college, and it's wonderful to lock arms with him, with what they're doing with Breakthrough Leadership, as well as what we're doing collaboratively with Univera and Dr. J.R. Tripp, one of my other best friends from my college days, and Craig and Deb Wallen are dear friends for life. And, when we re-engaged, I wasn't really sure how involved they would be, but they've been willing to allow me to do meetings in their home month after month, and they're just wonderful people. So they're pretty exciting, yeah.
You know what's interesting about that is you're re-engaged a group of people that you had in Indianapolis that haven't done anything in years, maybe were even fallen off, and you reconnected with them. Tell us the value of doing that, because you've got a little hot spot there too.
Yeah. Tim Cadwell we've stayed in communication during the lean years, and Tim and Paul Miller and Mike Murphy, those 3 guys, we became pretty close several years ago. And even though communication was not every day over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, we still, when we connect, it's like we're back there. So Tim Cadwell and Paul Miller have really engaged. They're involved with Breakthrough Leadership as well with us, and they're engaged in productive activity with Univera on a daily basis. Yeah.
Fantastic.
And Paul just reignited a guy that was in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So we just signed up Don Weaver up in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and he's excited about connecting with you, Al, when you're here next week.
Fantastic. Tony, at LDW, big things happen. A lot of times we say big decisions are made at big events. How important is it for you to have your team there at Leadership Development Workshop?
Well, it's everything, because getting people to the events increases not just their knowledge, and more importantly, it increases their belief, and it increases their commitment. That's where commitments are made. Last year in January, we were at lunch, and you were having us go around the table and share, our feedback from the event so far, the LDW, and that's when I announced to you that I was going to retire and build Univera full time. I think you about fell out of your chair, but I made that commitment there at that event, and I know that if I can get 30 people with me to LDW, and probably I don't need to get that many. You know, we talk about the 0.7 rule, but you know, at a distance like that. But if my goal is 30, I want to have 30 people at LDW, and I want to solidify platinum while we're running for emerald and diamond.
Fantastic. Well, we know the rule that if you want 30 there, you got to get 45 to commit. And then, like you said, Tony, because it's everybody that you're bringing is at a distance. If we take 0.7 times that 30, which is, you know, we know at 4, if you bring 4 people, you'll be a silver. If you bring 10 people, you'll be a gold. If you bring 30 people, you'll be a platinum. If you bring 60, you'll be an emerald. If you bring 100, you'll be a diamond. But we can take 0.7 times any of those numbers that it's at a distance. And here's the funny part about it. I don't know anyone that we have in San Antonio. So bottom line, everybody can take it 0.7. So if you have 21 people that show up there, you're going to be a platinum. If you're not a platinum that month, you'll be a platinum within the next month. And, you know, and here's the thing, we work together pretty closely. Our whole goal is to make sure that we're talking back and forth and doing enough Zooms. And when I'm out there, enough personal contact to
Right.
make sure that they're locked in with their plane fares or hotels. And you know, Tony, it's sort of funny is I heard somebody the other night say something about sometimes you go to those events and you end up bunking with someone else there, and by the end of the trip you get to know them, they're lifelong friends. I don't know what that means, but it's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. You know, Bob from down in Charleston, Bob and I are, you know, and we're cheerleaders for each other. And, you know, he's in another leg, but we're emailing back and forth and encouraging each other as we run. Yeah.
You know what, Tony, I just want everybody here to understand that before it's all said and done, you'll not only be a diamond, you'll be a blue diamond and onto a black diamond, because you just got that spirit about you. People trust you and they love you. And, you know, I don't know if you've ever read the book Speed of Trust, but there's a book called The Speed of Trust. And let me tell you something, that's what people have with you, Tony. Congratulations
Well,
on your success.
thank you, Al. Al, you're the one that told us to read Speed of Trust a number of years ago. And when I did my grad work, that's one of the books that I actually used. And I not only read it, I studied it, I wrote on it, and I've presented it over and over again to young people and to pastors over the years, because it's made that kind of difference in my life. And it's all about trust, building trust with people.